It is time to clean the Ninja Foodi, and I gotta tell you, if I had to pick a design flaw in the Ninja Foodi, it is this attached lid. It's bulky to store and it's difficult to clean. This is the air fry lid. It is fixed here on this hinge. And when you're air frying stuff, if you have grease that splatters, can get up in there. And this grate heating element is fixed in place. It has some rivets there or some kind of screws. I'm not going to take those off, and I'm not going to recommend that you take them off either. I don't want you to void your warranty. And remember, anything you see in any of these YouTube videos, mine or anybody else's, is at your own risk. So don't do everything everybody got you out there doing, Don't do everything everybody says you're supposed to do. Be very careful, because you can hurt yourself or you can void your warranty. We're not going to take this lid off. We are just going to use these brushes. Actually, this comes in a set of two. These bottle brushes, nylon bristles, and it's got like a plastic coated wire handle, so it's flexible. I got these off of Amazon. They came to a pack. I'll put the link in the description box, and we're just gonna scrub around there. We're not gonna jam it way inside where the fan spins. That's, we don't want to get it caught up in there. That's not something we want to do, because we don't want any bristles to come off and get stuck in there. And we got a spray bottle full of clear water, and this just came from the dollar store. And we're going to use this to just rinse off the lid after we clean it. We're going to start with just clear hot water. We're going to steam it in here and close the lid down and allow that steam to soften the grease and grime. And if we feel like we need to add any kind of dish soap, we'll do it later. We want to do the least invasive, the least chemicals or anything, because we don't want to get like dish soap stuck up in there in the fan or anything like that. So please, before we get started, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to Sweet Savant if you have not already. If you have subscribed, thank you. Hit that notification bell so you'll get a reminder whenever I do a video. It'll just pop up and say, hey, go check that out. It won't say that, but give me a thumbs up. Now let's get into it. Let me give you a close-up of the lid before we wash it. And you can see down in there, it's got some food built on, from food that's splattered, like when you're making that whole chicken, whole roasted chicken that you make in here. I'll put the link to that recipe up in the description box up there, and you can see that. But, it gets splattered a bit, and we're going to scrub it off. So the first thing is not to let this get too built up, because you don't want to give yourself a real tough job, to clean. So we will, and also, of course, warning, be careful, avoid contact, clean surface periodically. And, it's difficult to get in there. Like I said, this is fixed on there, and I'm not going to try to go in there and take it off. So you definitely want to wipe this down after it cools off after every use, but we're going to go ahead and clean that. So I've filled the pot with some water, and that is up to about level 3. No, it's not an exact science. You just want to get some water in there, and we're going to turn it on to simmer and let it steam. We've got our water in the pot. We'll hit the power button. And then we're going to hit sear sauté. It's on high. We're going to go ahead and let it go on high and hit start and let that water come up to a boil. Our water has come up to the boil. Let's see. Can you see the steam coming out? I don't think you can see it from there, but trust me when I say the steam is coming up. I'm going to close the lid, and then I'm going to turn the air fryer on just so the heat will keep going. I want it to warm up a little bit so that the grime there can get nice and soft. See, when you close the lid light goes on there. We're going to hit air crisp. Let's go ahead and take it up to 400. And let's just say 10 minutes. Actually, just 5 minutes will be fine. And start. Then after 5 minutes, we'll turn it off and let it cool down and then get to scrubbing. The Ninja has finished the air fryer setting. It's shut off, and now I'm going to let it cool down, leaving the lid closed so that it can just keep steaming, and then I'll come back in about 15 or 20 minutes and start to clean. I've opened the top and I'm just going to let it cool a bit more so there'll be no danger of me burning myself, because I don't want to do that. While we're waiting, I'm going to show you how to clean the pressure cook lid, and this lid has the silicone sealing ring, and that's usually tucked underneath this bar. You can just pull that out and then wash it in warm soapy water with a cloth or scrubber if you want to make sure that you get everything out of there. And then we're going to just rinse it and dry it. For the rest of the lid, now the other thing we want to do is take off this anti-clog little device here and then just wash that out. We don't want to mess with anything else. Don't take this stuff off. Just wash it gently. Scrubby. Make sure you get all the little crevices. Wash the top as well. Dry that off. Replace the wash off this and replace it. Dry it off, and that's ready to go. The air crisp basket is non-stick and cleans up pretty easily. One thing you want to be sure of is that you remove this part and wash it, because you don't want stuff to get stuck underneath. So we just wash that out. So we'll just wash that. A little warm soapy water will do the trick. Rinse it and dry it. You'll be good to go. You can use a scrubber or, a gentle scrubber, or a washcloth, a dishcloth. So this has cooled down enough to handle, so I can touch it with no problem. We still have warm water in there, so I'm gonna just use a little warm water and just kind of scrub that. You can use a lid-free cloth as well to scrub that. You don't want to get any lint caught all up in there. And any grime on the surface of that comes off pretty easily. And that's just with water. I mean, you can, if you want, add a little bit of soap to that if you feel it's necessary. I don't really feel it's necessary at this point. But if you did and you added soap, then you could just rinse it off with a spray bottle. All right? I'm going to take the smaller of these two wire brushes and just stick it down in there. And it cleans like a charm. So you just stick that in there and then scrub. And it does a pretty good job of cleaning that, getting all that grime out. And then just spray to rinse. And that's that. We'll tilt it down a little bit to let any excess water run out. One thing that you want to be very careful of is not to jam this down in there too deep. You don't want it to get caught up in any of those mechanisms, because you can lose some of these wire bristles and they could get stuck in there. We don't want that. And then if there's any little bit of grime around the edge that you think you might have missed, just take, like, this is a plastic chopstick and cloth, and just kind of slip it in there. And that helps to get out any remaining. And all of this is at your own risk. You are responsible for what you do. So please use caution, follow manufacturer's directions, and do stuff like this at your own risk. But it looks much, much, much better than it did before, doesn't it? For the interior pot, it's got a good non-stick coating. I've really had no problem cleaning it before, so it's still got some warm water in it. Put a little squirt of dish detergent and give it a quick scrub. It really cleans up very well. Wash it. Dry it. You're good to go. For the outside, you want to take this little drip tray in the back out and wash that. Wash the outside down with the damp cloth and buff it dry. And you're good to go. Oh, and this brush, it washes clean with soap and water as well. I know it looked crazy grimy before. Oops. But it washes out really easily. You want to clean out this little groove too, because sometimes food can get in there. It's a tight squeeze, but you can take that same little chopstick you had and use a cloth to help clean it, and then just rinse it and wipe it clean. Never immerse the base in water. If you feel like you need to clean in there, just take just a moist cloth, maybe a little bit of soapy water on it, and then just wipe it out. Our Ninja Foodi is nice and clean, ready to cook again. I'll put the links in the description box for the brushes that I use. Remember, be gentle. You don't want to jam it all the way up in there. I really stuck to the outer edges. I don't want to mess with the fan at all. Please be careful. It's at your own risk. Be careful. And, you know, you got to make it do what it do. So I do like the Ninja Foodi. I think this attached lid design, it's a little difficult to clean, but I think most air fryers have, you know, kind of that issue, like how do you clean up in that part. If you have any suggestions, please let me know in the description box. I would love to hear your ideas, and thanks so much for watching. Have a delicious day.